Hi, I'm Johnny Knight.
Hi, I'm Lia Gold.
And welcome to
Til Design Do Us Part.
A podcast for interior lovers,
DIY doers,
people who just have differing opinions.
or a divorce pending.
Let's see.
Welcome
back.
If you lasted episode 1, I'm so happy you've come back for episode 2.
Of course they've lasted for episode 1. They want to know what we've got to say.
This is true.
And who's the guest on this week's pod. That's what they want to know.
But yeah, welcome back to Design Do Us Part.
Yes, thank you for coming to join us again. We are so excited to have you. I'm Johnny. This is Lia.
Hello.
We're ready to talk all things DIY this episode. Renovations, DIY. What's the phrase we're going to say? Do it right, do it once.
Yes.
So let's see how we resonate with that as the episode goes on.
Yeah, we'll have more of your design dilemmas. And if you want to send us your design dilemmas, then please do follow along at Til Design Do Us Part on TikTok and Instagram and send away your dilemmas.
Yeah, please do. We'd love to help you out. And yeah, we're going to have some good fun. We're going to play a little bit of red flag, green flag again. And we're going to do, divorce or design. Design or divorce? Why did I call it divorce
or design?
I need to practice more. We've only done one episode. I need to practice more.
I'll let you off.
Hopefully I'll get better as the episodes go on. Right, so let's just get straight into it and let's have a little catch up. What have we been up to this week? What's been going on?
This week has been a really exciting week, actually.
All right.
I have been doing up my own bedroom at home. Which, why is it always harder when you're doing your own home as opposed to a client's? I am so snappy with decisions when it's for a client. But for my own house, terrible.
I feel like when it's your own house, we question everything a lot more. And because you're around it all the time, the beauty of going to a client is they've given you a bit of a brief. You turn up, you do the install, you leave, and you're not looking at it all the time. If I stayed in some of the places that you design for long enough, you question all your decisions, wouldn't you? Because you're looking at them being like, oh, maybe that doesn't work there. Or, maybe.
Yeah.
So I think that it's because you're living in it, also sleeping in it every night. And you're probably laid in bed at night thinking, why did I do that?
Exactly. But she's finished and I love it. It's taken 3 years. And I guess my top tip is live in the space before you start designing it. Because for me, I've learned so much about it and how it makes me feel in the winter and in the summer because they're very different. Yeah. And that's really affected how I've designed that room. Yeah. But yeah, she's done and I'm really happy with it.
Buzzing. Is any standout pieces that you got for your room? Anything? And there's one thing I'm thinking in particular that you got as a bargain on Facebook Marketplace. Some Matilda Gold hardware.
Oh, yes, I
Shout
did.
Out Matilda Gold, we love you.
Yeah, we do love you, Matilda Gold. And hardware is so important. I always say it's like, when you put an outfit on, but you've forgotten the jewellery. Yeah. So it's like your outfit's like, it's nice, but then you do the finishing touches with the jewellery and you're like, this is amazing.
And she always gets it spot on. I don't know. I love all of her stuff. We have so much at our house as well. And I couldn't believe it when you found it on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, are you joking?
Yes, I got 5 doorknobs for, I think it was £50 and they're normally 22 each.
I literally spent a small fortune doing all of them in our entranceway and I was like, just don't look at the cost, just think how beautiful they are. They're so nice. They're so nice.
They are really stand out. People my parents came down a couple of weeks ago and I was showing them the hardware I'd bought and they were like, oh yeah, it looks nice. And I sent a picture yesterday of it all finished and they were like, oh my God, the hardware just makes such a difference to that space.
Such a difference. Such a difference.
So that's enough about me. What have you been up to?
I was about to move on. I was like, I've had a pretty boring week, to be honest.
We can move on.
What have I done? I've been slogging away I've been really focusing on socials this week. I've been trying to, me and Leah always talk about our socials and I've really been trying to, I don't know, this past year has been a real year of me of being like, this is it. I want to push for the socials. I want to commit to doing it a lot. And so I designate days now to making content and planning the content. And I think that's really helping. Yeah. I find it so, I treat it like a business. Like a lot of my job that I actually do outside of interior design, I run social media accounts for different clients and I plan those in advance because it's my job. So I was like, why am I not doing that for myself? Because otherwise I forget to post and...
Also, there's no story. I think you post on impulse and actually once you've actually planned it, you're sharing really useful information.
And I always journal and write out in my notebook like what things I want to post about. And I've got like a plethora of stuff, and I'm like, I'm just not making these posts. I was like, right, I'm going to do a day of where I film some content, and then I can schedule it and post it. So that's been my focus this week, is socials.
And it's a big win, because it actually is a full-time job. So well done,
job.
Johnny.
Yeah. Thank you, honey. Well, let's move on, shall we? Let's do to our game of red flag, green flag. No, I don't know if we need a theme tune for this one. Maybe we'll see as the pod goes on if it needs one.
Okay.
But
sorry, you didn't enjoy that.
No, it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it. I just think that design or divorce is a bit stronger.
Back.
Maybe it should be a rap. Do you fancy doing some rap?
Absolutely not.
Lia's really good at rapping,
Do I look
guys.
like 50 Cent? Actually, to be fair, I'm a big gold hoops on, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
We sidetrack. So let's crack on. So number 1, when renovating, you should always do as much as yourself as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, I am quite hands-on when it comes to DIY. I'm just too inquisitive. Like, I want to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll always look up, well, I'd always phone my dad first, or I'll always look up like how to do it and give it a go. Unless it's, do you know what? Electricals always make me slightly nervous, but I have rewired a light before, and I'm still here.
Yeah,
so
that's what husbands are for.
No.
You're not going to ask Ben to do that?
I love him, but he's not too fair. The electricals, he also gets a bit nervous.
I mean, listen, electricals and plumbing, I can't mess with.
Ben did fit a toilet though. So he's ticked the plumber list. And
he needs a big tick for that. That's impressive.
And I did the electricals. So together, I reckon we could do a whole house.
Well, maybe you should. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think try and do as much as yourself as possible. I mean, listen, in an ideal world, would I pay for a decorator? Yes, because I don't enjoy decorating. I do it because decorators, I get it why you charge a lot of money, because
it takes a lot of time.
The
prep.
The prep, sanding woodwork. If somebody's like, paint some woodwork, I'm like, no, I'm not sanding the woodwork. I'm not. I just, so long. So I think, yeah.
You'd call the trades in.
If I could. Financially, maybe not. Depends. If I'm feeling Wolf of Wall Street, then yeah, calling in all the trades. I'm doing nada.
So we're saying green flag.
Green flag, I think. Yes. Green flag. We agreed.
The next one I find hilarious. Measure once, order 300 tiles without measuring again.
Yeah.
This is absolute red flag.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag.
You need to measure like 3 times.
I feel that if you measure once, I'm saying this because there's a story brewing. I feel like I just like things done quickly. I'm a bit of a rusher. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then all of a sudden it turns up and you're like, oh God, I screwed up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a red flag. I think you're right. You got to be thorough. You got to do your measuring.
Measure once, measure again, measure 3 times.
3 times a lady. Sorry, I fancied a little sing-song there.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, go for it.
So we agreed on that one as well?
Yeah.
What? 2 in a row.
Oh.
All right. We're off to a good start.
We are.
Okay.
Restoring features isn't worth it.
That's red flag.
Red
flag. If you've got a house that's full of character and love it, I really struggle to understand people who rip that out and then slap a load of other stuff on, because I'm like, if it's like, especially architectural features like, architraving, anything that's part of the building's history, like, why would you get rid of that? Like, celebrate it. Like these homes have history, and once you've got rid of it, it's gone. The history is done.
Yeah. Or like fireplaces. When people rip out fireplaces, I think they rip out a piece of my soul.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the fireplace. If it was like a hideous 70s fireplace, then she got to go.
Yeah, but I mean, as in like boxing them up.
Yeah, I don't ever
Because you can go to like
that.
salvage yards and buy amazing like mantles for so cheap.
I don't understand why people box up fireplaces. Also doors. Have you seen those people who are like renovating houses and they box in the doors, and then they take this plywood off the door and it's a gorgeous, beautiful like Victorian door underneath? I'm like, eh?
Yeah.
Or do you know what that is?
Spindle staircase?
Yes!
Yeah! so excited.
Yes, spindle staircases. They box them in.
My friend just bought a flip, so she's got into flips with her husband, and they are renovating, and all the staircase was all boarded in, and she posted me a video the other day of them ripping it off. Gorgeous spindles. It's like, what in your right mind made you cover that up?
Yeah, it is mad. But yeah, I think for me, it's a red flag. Just, you gotta, where you can, restore the features. Don't, I know it's hassle, but do the hassle. It's worth it.
Take the time, restore them, because you can't get them back once you take them away.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Oh my God, we're agreeing again.
Okay, should we do one more?
Yeah, go for it.
Starting, I already know the answer to this for Leah. Starting 7 DIY projects at once is fine. You'll finish them eventually.
Yeah, just do it. My brain just, you got to like...
Leah's got about like 20,000 projects on at the same time. She's like, yeah, I'm just doing this. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, and I'm doing this. Oh, and I'm doing this. Oh, and I'm doing this. And I'm like, babe, how are you keeping up with yourself?
I don't, which is why my face looks like this. But the DIY comes first. I think it's just my brain. My brain gets really excited and I struggle to like start. I will always get them finished. Maybe just longer.
Even if it takes 2 years.
Even if it takes 2 years. Yeah, the doors are still currently hanging off the cabinet we built a few years ago because I bought the wrong piece to drill the holes and I still haven't got around to fixing it. But there's so many other things that have been done in that time, you know, and I'll come back to it.
So many other projects started.
Yeah, they're just overtaken. But yeah, I love it. I love the thrill of it.
So you're a green flag on that one.
Yeah, I'm a green flag.
I'm a red flag. Solid red flag on that one. Sorry, it's a divorce for me because there's no way. 7 at the same time. I struggle to do 1 at the same time. I'm literally like, I can't focus on anything else. I'm like, I must finish this project. I must finish this project.
They're all like work in progress. It's not like I started it, said it was finished, and it's not. Like, I know there's still works in progress, but...
It's just when.
As long as you didn't need it done by like the next day or something.
That's what I usually do. Is I put a strict time constraint. Got to be done in 2 days.
Yeah, I just ease myself in. When it gets done, it gets done.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, that leads us on to our next section where we have got an amazing guest joining us, who's someone very special to you, Leah.
Yeah, he's a good guy, I reckon. He's got a lot of knowledge in the old DIY front.
And renovation, apparently.
And renovation. So my dad has come all the way down from wee Glasgow
to London to come and film the pod. To
come and have a chat with us. So
Paul, welcome.
Welcome, Dad. So yeah, for all the listeners out there, Paul is my dad, and just to kind of chat through a little bit as to why he's here and maybe why people think he's relevant to our interior design podcast. He studied architecture in Glasgow many moons ago, and then converted our home, which was previously a stables, into what is our now family home, and has never ever moved. So
I mean, that's amazing in itself that you've stayed in the same place for how many years now have you been there?
I just worked out, it's 44 years. Yeah, same house.
Wow, that is amazing. And so when you first saw it then, what was the state it was in as a building?
It was 3/4, probably 2/3 finished as a house.
Right.
If you go back previously, actually, the house was a stable at the very beginning. Then it's a recording studio.
Oh, wow.
And then it was a theatre. And it lay empty for about 10 years.
God. So it's had many lives before it became your family home.
Got many lives. And I went into the lounge, basically. I didn't advert in the paper that said stables for sale in a house. Yes, I went and looked for it and found it. I thought, so I walked into this room, which was a kitchen, part of a kitchen, and a big, huge lounge next door, a big, huge cathedral ceiling.
Wow.
Something said, you have to buy me. That sounds really stupid. But
it
was. Something just said, this has to get bought.
Yeah. I often, people, when they go and see houses, people have told me, like, when you walk in, you just know, you get
have
a feeling.
Yeah, it was 100%.
And you've got to just trust that gut feeling when you go into those places. That is so amazing. I love the fact, I didn't even realise, I obviously knew it was a stables before, but I didn't realise it had different lives.
People of a certain age will know of a band called Middle of the Road.
Oh, right.
It's like a Glasgow band in the 70s.
Right.
And it's a very famous song called Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep. So if anyone there's listening, they'll know this song. That was recorded in our front lounge. It was a recording studio. And it was #1 in the charts all those years ago when we had charts.
Wow, that's amazing. I bet if I told my dad would know that. He loves music. He'd love it. Yeah. Wow, that's ace. Yeah. That is so cool. So I guess when you, my thoughts on it are, when you were going to first look at it and you were like, I need to buy this house. Yeah. What made you, did you know at that point, this is like a forever home? Because obviously you've been there for 40 years.
Definitely not, no.
You didn't think that?
No, I was self-employed at the time and I'd opened video shops, which again, people of a certain age will know what they were. And I didn't really, sorry?
R.I.P.
Yeah, not many now, obviously. And I'd saved some money up. I thought I had to buy a house. And I'd seen several houses around about the area. A cottage, I've seen a house, an old mansion house, the top flat, which was really nice. But I kept thinking, it's not right.
Yeah.
And I went and seen that, and I thought, because of my background, I wanted to do architecture, I wanted to build houses and do houses up. That was always my brain wanted to do. So as soon as I seen this, I thought, I'm going to buy this, do it all up.
And you were like, this is actually a project that connects all of the things that you're looking to do anyway.
That's right, 100%. Yeah. So I bought it thinking that way.
Yeah, but never that you were going to stay there for 40...
Never in a million years.
I mean, that is just crazy.
I sort of assumed as well that I was there for 2 years before I met Lia's mum.
Yep.
And we got married 2 years after that. So I was there for 4 years as a single man.
Right.
So I didn't think for a second that...
It would be a family home. It was...
No, because I thought...
Trying to say it was your bachelor pad or something, was it?
Yes, well, upstairs, a TV room was a snooker room. So there was different things that I'd put in it as... Yeah.
So it's literally had so many different lives as a house, even before it was a family home as well. That is amazing. I mean, I always find that about properties. That's why I'm always attracted. I mean, I live in a new build flat, but hoping at some point we could buy a period property because I love the history behind it and knowing that it's had, even since you've owned it, it's had such different lives of its own. And now, you know.
I also didn't know at the time when I bought the house, it's a theatre. I had no idea. Actually, my doctor, you staying up here now? And he goes, this used to be a theatre we ran. I can tell with players in.
Wow.
I thought, where? Because that about actually, when I was doing the house up, I kept finding exit signs and stuck down wall cavities and things and wires going, where's this wire going? Where's that going? I couldn't figure out all these things were. And he said to me, this is a theatre. That door there, it's part of a main big, huge, big mansion next to it, which is part of an old estate. Yeah. He said that door led through into the house. We had food and drinks in there. We came through into the theatre.
Wow.
I thought, right.
That is amazing. And it's just like, it's almost like the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because you literally just go, and then this, and then I'm sure there are more sort of, I want to say artifacts, but the more things that you would find, you know, you're like, wow, it's just so much history. And I think that with buildings that come with such history like that, there must be challenges that you find. Like you were saying, you've got wires coming over here and you don't know what's going on here. Did you find it, because was it your first property that you did up?
Yep.
So that, I mean...
One and only.
I had no idea.
That is like such a huge I mean, from my perspective, I can't imagine as a first time doing it, that must have been very overwhelming because there must have been challenges.
A lot of major work was done before I took it on. Like a roof had been put on it. A part of the upstairs wasn't finished at all. Part of the back of the house wasn't finished at all. Mm-hmm. The gallery room for the TV room upstairs, that wasn't there. It was a huge solid wall. I did about this. Actually, I went with a ferryman, a chap called Richard McGee, who Lia knows. And we walked into this. I still a friend of mine to this day, so that's 45 years ago. We walked into the kitchen and I looked at it. It's all I see was the kitchen and this big space at the side, which is now the sort of main lounge. I turned and looked at him and says, I'm buying this. Mm-hmm. He went, you haven't seen it all yet? And I went,
you just knew at that moment.
Yeah, those big, huge like walls that you don't get anymore. Tiny wee windows, most was all small windows because they were all stable.
What's the period of the property? When was it built?
1704.
Wow, and it's not listed?
Yes, it's listed.
It's listed, right.
Yes, listed. So I actually gave a lot of hassle. I put a small extension on 10 years ago, and it took, 10 years ago, but I applied for planning 15 years ago.
Wow.
I went to historic Scotland trying to get this thing passed. It was back and forth and back and forth. So eventually we got it passed and got it built.
It was fine.
It was fine. It took a long time.
That's the thing, I guess, with listed buildings is it's such a pain for the process, but at the same time, they are trying to protect beautiful buildings.
Yes,
and there's a balance of people saying, you know, like we waited so long to get that, but you don't want people to be able to just tear down or change.
No, and also just stick something hideous that doesn't work. You know, I think it has to be, you know, appreciative of the building and its heritage, and I think that's all they're trying to do, which I do get. But it is, I can't even imagine how frustrating it must be, just being like waiting and back and forth.
Well, actually, I don't know, maybe it was in the early 80s or probably something I did. I put in one of those horrible conservatories. You could buy them with the curve.
Oh, yes, yeah.
They're horrible.
That trend.
Yeah, that was a trend at the time, which I'm saying don't follow trends.
Yeah, okay, good.
I put that on at the side. I've been there for 20 years and I hated it.
Right.
But because there's no planning was required for that, I could have put it on. So I put it on. That was 20 years before,
Right.
40 years ago. And I kept saying, I want that pulled down so I can put in a building in keeping, or an extension in keeping the rest of the house. And Horsthorpe's kept saying, yes, you can take it down, but you can't put it in its place. But that became a dumping ground for toys and books and paperwork. So
Right.
I don't know what to put. I said, no, we need to build a wee extension here to take away the space. And we went back and forth until one day I got a visit from Historic Scotland who came up. The guy drove in, parked on the lawn. So not a good start.
Excuse me.
So I came out and I said to the chap, I said, blah, blah, blah. He says, don't speak to me unless I speak to you. And I went, okay. So I walked away and he came back. He goes, I've got one serious question I have to ask you before you get any further with this plans. Why are all these chimney pots taken off the house? And I said, it's not a house. It is now.
Yeah.
It was a stable.
Yeah.
There was no chimney pots, but why are all the chimney pots around here? So that's ones that I've gathered over years from going to salvage yards and recollection yards, which Lia likes going to, and picking all these things up. They were never in the house, but he wrote down on his wee pad, all chimney pots and chimneyware had to be restored back onto the roof. And I'm thinking, there's light in the chimney in
I was
there.
going to say that common stables with the fireplace in the middle. You know, not
So
really.
that was part of the
horse is
challenge.
warm.
You got more of an old property that is listed.
They just, I've heard with them, it just depends on what mood they're in. Somebody said to me once that a conservation officer, it all depends if they want to approve it or not, if they've had an argument with their wife before they left. You know, because honestly, it's such a mood, whatever mood they're in on that day, it'll depend on.
I'm doing a very good job, obviously, what they're trying to do, but I'm thinking you're trying to do things here that are not actually what they were. It's a stable, it's not a house. Yes, if I hadn't bought it, it probably wouldn't be here anymore. It would start falling down.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, I think, right? Is if you'd not done that 40 odd years ago, it probably wouldn't be here anymore. And that's a piece of history that would be gone.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing around listed buildings and trying to protect them, is because you know you need to keep on the heritage and keep all of the history intact. I would say it's definitely.
Yeah. I think we need more houses like it.
Yeah.
So my best friend is desperate to buy our house, and she asks my dad and me constantly, is he gonna move? I think he's getting to that age. You should probably move.
Right.
And it's been so long, but it's because there's just not enough properties. She doesn't want a new build, and that's all they seem to pump out in Scotland is just new build. She's like, I don't want that. I want the character. And that just adds also so much value. Like you can't add history. It's there.
And especially if it's done right. You know, talking about do it once, do it right. If it's done right, it adds value to the property. It means that the next person who comes in to buy it's not going to have to redo all of the work. You know,
they're buying it because they love those features
exactly, and what's been done to it. And I think that that's a huge part of restoring these period properties. I think it's really, really important. And so with the trades and stuff, did you do a lot of it, like all of it yourself?
Not all of it. Probably I would say 85%, 85%.
85%.
What are the skills you couldn't do? I'm so intrigued to know what you can't do.
I couldn't change the heating system. I couldn't put a boiler in.
That's fair enough. So I mean, I'll let you off on that one.
That's a stage too far. Our back bathroom, I can remember the back bathroom for years. The tiles in the wall were loose.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and I kept thinking...
No, do you remember? So our shower used to electrocute you every time you turned it off.
Seriously.
And this honestly was like this for like 5 years, I swear.
It's just a wee tingle. Come on.
It just gives you a wee tingle.
A wee tingle,
Just keep you alive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm alive. There we go. Yeah.
You're in the interiors to keep you alive, guys. Just get a shower that electrocuted you every
that
morning.
wasn't me put that in. That was there already, so it wasn't an old shower. So
That was an original feature.
It was a period of the stables, I'm sure. The electric shower along with the chimney pots, you know.
I can remember being in the shower one day thinking, that tile looks some sort of place. So I pushed it. And all the tiles just fell off. I should have been leaking and the whole thing was sodden wet.
No.
And but then I didn't decide to get someone in to fix it straight away. But I'm just going to do things, getting things done right away because I was still working and doing it. I thought, I'll get that fixed one day. That's good. But this went on for about maybe 6 months, a year, longer, maybe longer. Okay. So I had this shower with a bare breeze block wall. But I'd sorted the problem of the leak. I'd pinned plastic sheet over the wall so it didn't leak anymore. Yeah,
there you go, you see? Sort that out.
But if you didn't turn the shower on properly, you did get a wee tingle in the morning just to make sure you're awake.
I was going to say, it's a nice way to start your day, eh?
Yeah, really refreshing.
So eventually I thought, I better get someone in to fix all the plumbing in there because I thought, so I got that fixed and I did the rest of that myself. Yeah, so yeah,
I mean,
there's certain
those
areas.
two things that you've named that you couldn't do, that's pretty impressive going. I mean, the fact you did all of the other work in it and it was your first time doing it on a project of that size.
My father was very handy. He did a lot of things by himself. And my grandfather, who left Italy when I was 11 years old, believe it or not, went to America. He used to work in Hollywood sets. So
Wow.
he built the Hollywood sets. So I think there is
something that's passed down.
passing the genes. You just think, rather than thinking, I think I'm sort of nosy or inquisitive. How does this work? How do you fix this? How, if you open this thing up, what's inside it? Toys I broke for years because it was like, what's working?
You want to see how it...
I want to know how it's doing that.
The mechanics behind it almost, yeah.
So doing anything in house was a case of either fix it or break it. It was like, I'm going to fix this, and then I go,
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you find that growing up you were fixing things rather than replacing? If something broke, you're a fixer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My mum, we were talking to my mum the other day, and I said to her, you always fixed things. You never, she went, it was just a generational thing. We always did that.
I think it was.
She was it just, I was taught to fix things. If you whatever broke, Matt, we'll go into the garage and we'll just sort it out, whatever. And it was just a way of watching now. You know, if something breaks, a lot of people are, oh, just bin it, just buy a new one.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that mentality of being able to fix things is a interesting mindset.
I think I learned it from cars. I think I was the only student doing architecture in the year I was doing it with a car. I couldn't really afford a car, but I bought a car. It was great. I was young, driving about a car. Yeah. So to fix things, to get it fixed in a garage, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
As if parts went faulty, I actually took the part apart rather than go out and buy a new bit. You took the bit apart, again, it either broke it, so I had to buy a new bit. I went, oh, it's that bit.
That bit, right. And then
you put it back in.
This was a real reality check for me because I never ever paid for my car to be like fixed at a garage. My dad always fixed my cars. So then when we moved to London, we got a car and something went wrong with it. I was like, what did I do?
Like, Dad, could
no,
you
it was easy what she did. She said,
I was like,
hello.
She says, I was like,
hey,
Dad,
do you want to come to London? I'd love to see you. Can you bring your
whilst
toolbox?
you're here, could you fix my car?
It's just, I don't think it's a thing of, oh, I can do it. It's just in my nature or people's nature of our age, I think.
I'm just giving it a go,
It's just give it a go. You think, well, if I can't fix it, I'll put it in the garage.
I was going to say, what's the worst you're going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to break it, but you were going to bin it anyway. So, you know, it's...
Or you could die in the shower. Maybe.
Well, yes. That is one way.
That's one of the ones that's never been forgotten.
To death to his part has never been so true.
Yeah, I was going to
moment.
say exactly that.
Yeah.
You touched on this before, but I'm interested to hear a bit more about your thoughts on it. But obviously you mentioned the very trendy 80s conservatory. And you also said, you know, that's why maybe you shouldn't go into trends. How does that relate to, say, for example, somebody now who's renovating a property and stuff? How do you know what are the things you should not do? Like, how do you know that, oh, well, that's a trend, don't bother with that? And how do you know are the things that you're like, right, I'm going to just do this? Is because, you know, what if somebody does something, you spend a lot of money on this thing, you're like, for God's sake, why the hell did I put that bloody hideous thing on? And in 2 years' time, I'm going to want to take it down or whatever.
I tend not to go too outfield, I don't think, with what we're doing. I tend to look at books a lot and read books on architecture, and because history was all to do that. I look through things and make sure what I'm doing fits with the building itself. Yeah, it's easy to go, I really like that. It's like I quite like some LED lighting and things. But I think, would that really work in this house? Maybe there's a wee bit in areas and I thought cupboards and wardrobes, but I think as a general rule,
it's just not in keeping.
It's just not the key thing for that house. I quite like chandeliers, but I think they're a bit cliche. But I've got a chandelier with a big, huge a cage around it.
Oh, wow.
There's a chandelier in the centre, a big metal cage, which makes it more contemporary, but still keeps it fitting. And
so it's like blending those worlds together.
Yeah.
No, I think, I don't know, trends are such a funny one, aren't they? And I think that's, maybe you answered my question quite well, actually, there, because I think architecture is so technical and mathematical, and you go back to the basics to get everything spot on, that actually trends don't come into that. That's just about the basics and sorting all of that
balance out. Almost, it's like balance.
Exactly. And I think that having the architectural background, I think, is definitely something that maybe, I mean, I don't have an architectural background.
Remember, I didn't qualify. I failed. Failure. I could do the bit of design, which I thought it was fairly easy in my eyes. I think I'm very visual. I look at things and think, well, that should go there, and that should. And people say, "How do you know that?" And I go, "I don't really know." But it tends to work. I think it does.
Anyone who's in design, it's that feeling, isn't it? And as even walking into a house, you get the feeling when you're designing a space. You see some things, and you can't really explain why. Sometimes you put it in, 100%. But you just have the feeling that you know it deserves to be there.
Yeah, it's got to go there for some reason. You put it, you think that's right. I got strange wall units in the lounge, which I bought 40 years ago, and to me it just fits on that wall. And I've never ever thought of replacing it. And I think if I just get so used to that, that's just what's always been there. or is that still relevant to the space? It's hard to define after all these years if it's just me, because it's always been there. But I think that's still relevant in the space.
Yeah. And I think there's also something about, though, we always talk about this, you've got to stay true to yourself as a designer. You've got to stay true to what feels right to you. And it doesn't matter if somebody else doesn't like it. It's your design. It's what it's exactly what you want. And even if it's been there for 40 years and you still like it, then so be it. Keep it on the walls. I think that's
maybe people's fear of doing their own work or doing their own designers. What happens if it's not right? If you like it, then it's right.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I think that's a bigger conversation, isn't it? It's a conversation of social media, the pressures of having aesthetic homes and things looking a certain way, and people are designing for what they think other people like, or what will make it appealing to everyone else. It has to appeal to you. You live there.
Correct. 100%.
Just, and that's why it appeals to you, is because you made it appeal to you when you built it, and all these years later it still works because it was authentic to you. So I think it's amazing. Do it right, do it once.
Exactly. I was about to say, this is exactly the name of the podcast this week.
The same with your mum as well, doing things and get them fixed properly in the garage. I kept taking things apart, thinking I have to fix this. But you get to the stage at one point, you think, am I just being nerdy here? And I'm trying to fix something that really shouldn't really be fixed. If you spend days or hours or weeks sometimes doing something, eventually you go, no, I'm afraid this has to go.
But you gave it a go first, and that's the most important thing.
I think you've got to have a willingness to give it a go and to try and fail and get things wrong. And doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. Doesn't matter if it's only wrong if somebody tells you it's wrong. I mean, my mum always says things to me about just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? And you
just when you're starting DIY for the first time, you will not learn unless you give it a go and break it, because you never do it right first time. You just got to think, well, you're learning, so that's part of your learning curve, and you do it
massively.
I think that Lia thinks I get everything right, but obviously when Lia was really young, she didn't see all the muck-ups that I did.
I did the electric shower.
But I mean, even when you're younger than that, I was doing work thinking, that's okay. And I'll go back thinking, oh my God, I better go and fix that again, because that's not right. So Lia missed all the wee bits that didn't really work out right.
Yeah.
As she got older, then she got more interested in doing stuff and go, how do we do this, Dad? How do you fix that? So I was a bit more competent.
Was she always inquisitive like that?
On everything, not
really?
Everything. Dad, always.
And even now, hi Dad, can you just help me replace?
No, it never starts. It's always hello. A text that starts, if it's a phone call or a text on how you Dad, how's Mum, where you been, what you doing, it's fine. But the text will always start with hello, and nothing else. And I think, so Leah now change that obviously, and I think,
she's clocked on now.
I'll trick him.
Oh, so but she said, I mean, I know because I'm quite similar to my mum in many ways, but I think it is something that's, we were talking about before, about being passed down through generations in your genes of if you've got that mind that wants to look, how is that made? Or why has that been put that way or whatever? Like, I know you're like, no, I can do that. I'll give it a go. Like, and you've got such a can-do attitude to all things, even things that I would find like intimidating of DIY.
And I'm far more than me.
Just give it a go. And I think that's something that you've got, you've definitely picked up on and learned, because bloody hell, you gave it a go to put a stables into a family house. That's, amazing. Let's just give it a go and see what happens, right?
I think also, like, I just can't be bothered to wait for trades to come to do it. So I'm like, I'll just do it myself. And
you do have an impatient streak. I could do that in 2 minutes. I'm going to do it myself.
They got this morning. I put a light up, please. I went, okay, I'm just out of bed, but I'll put a light up here.
Just having a coffee.
Will it be up before I get home tonight? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, I am the person that has 7 DIY projects on at the same time, which to my own detriment is not ideal, and I don't recommend it to anyone else. But I do there's something also just so satisfying about being able to do it yourself. And I love being able to give it a go and show other people. And I hope that one day I can show other people how to do things.
It's rewarding. I think it's a part of, when people come over and like, oh God, that's amazing. Like, I put that up. I find it, I've made things in the house and people are like, oh God, I love that. I went, I made that. And they went, no way. And you don't do it for the praise, but it just shows you that
you make you feel it's worthwhile.
We were like, I felt, I was brave enough to give it a go. And, people are noticing that actually you were exposed yourself and you were vulnerable to give it a whirl,
Yeah. Although I did almost not marry my husband when I found out that not everyone could do DIY. I genuinely was so shocked that people just didn't know how to do DIY. So I'm really sorry.
Is he not DIY savvy at all?
He wasn't when I met him. And then we got the house and I was like, put up the shelves, do the mirrors and everything. And he was like, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, what do you mean you don't know how? And he's like, Well, because he'd just never been shown by like his family growing up. And obviously I was so lucky that my dad took the time to show me, but everyone's not so lucky.
Well, you sometimes take it for granted. You know, sometimes I find the same thing. I know how to sew. I know how to do a lot of things that a lot of people don't know how to do. Because my mum taught me, and I thought everyone did. I thought everyone knew how to do these things. And you just don't really know until somebody's like, I had a friend of mine was like, can you show me how to thread a sewing machine? I was literally like, yeah, of course I can. But it didn't even cross my mind that other people didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So,
but social media is great now. There's so many channels out there where you can see how to do so many things.
You can learn how to do anything.
Yeah.
You probably would have learned how to do the boiler and the heating system.
No, actually, I just got it replaced 2 years ago and still didn't do it. I just looked at it and I thought,
I'm not doing that.
That's one step too far. Sometimes it's good to know your limits, everyone.
Yeah, I think
I just kept thinking, if I get a leak up there because I've changed the boiler, I'm going to rip out ceilings. I'd like someone else to be at the fault of that rather than me. So I just thought,
I don't want my name held to that.
Yeah,
I
just thought, no, because I was doing all this work somewhere else, and then you got, which happened a few years ago, actually, a whole ceiling, it leaked, and I had to find the leak.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. It was dripping through, and eventually it fell through the ceiling in the hall. And could I find this leak? I went through every joint, every one in the couldn't find it. And eventually got someone up who looked on it and went, it's not the joints. I thought, what do you mean it's not? Well, what's leaking then?
Yeah.
He goes, you get 3 pinholes in a copper pipe. And this guy's been a plumber that I've known this guy for 45 years. He's working in one of my shops. And he went, I've never seen that in my life. You've actually got a copper pipe that has rotted away in 3 pinhole points.
Wow.
And it kept running along the pipe and dripping down at a really far end, then running along the floor and dipping through into the hole. So it's like, I couldn't find this. So that taught me, I just thought, you're doing your boiler.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this.
Now, do you know what? There's some things you just know your limits.
Yeah, there's certain things I just thought, if I do this wrong and I got a leak somewhere in my house, I think Leah's mum would go, this is enough, I've had enough of this. So I thought,
she's had no ceiling for 5 years.
She's like, it's enough. I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, but she's not kidding. The ceiling's not been fixed for 5 years. It's now fixed and done.
It's now fixed. I've seen it.
Yeah, I said,
there's no hole. It does feel a bit lonely now, the hole's not there. Walking to the hall every
morning go,
oh, there's a ceiling now.
But beautifully
so that's part of
proof.
DIY is you don't tend to do things as they should be done at the time. So I think that can wait and I can do this.
And I guess there's something about not rushing it, right? You know, you shouldn't rush things. I know a lot of people who have moved into properties with plans to renovate and do works and stuff. And I'm so impatient. I'm the person like, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. And then actually I've heard from people from experience that should live with it for a bit, know what works, 100%. What doesn't work. Totally and then agree. So when it comes to doing it, you're making the space work for you guys rather than just doing what you think you know you want. And then actually when you've lived in the space, it's actually completely different. And I don't know, I mean, that's clearly, I guess, what you did over the...
but actually, first is a few things to make it livable. Yeah. And then you have it livable and you think, I don't want
live with it like
I don't want that there. You think eventually that grows. And basically, I think my whole plan has not really changed since you were born, has it? It's been the same layout. It just works.
Yeah, layout has always been the same. Yeah, we've just redecorated, I guess, and some not even everywhere. Like
knock things down and open things up, and even that things talk about things going wrong. We thought of putting your kitchen in. You remember putting your kitchen in? It was completely. There was no kitchen left. The floor was.
I remember sitting eating pizza on the floor one
night. I wonder if she actually had
like cracked floorboards.
I thought, God, I wonder if Leah remembers this.
I do.
I'm talking floorboards that are 300 years old, so they're a mess. And I looked for this is just like that. I thought weekend whim, that's where it came from.
Yeah. Sounds like me.
Yes, it came from actually the back wall of the kitchen, if you remember, was plasterboard. But I knew behind it, a very old-fashioned wall was behind that. I thought that would look really nice in the kitchen. So I thought, I'll dig out this bit here, we'll dig the wall out. Yeah. And we'll take away the plasterboard and all that. So after so I took all the units down, took everything away completely. I thought, we'll just do the whole thing.
Yeah, do the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. Very first time ever.
Do it right.
We'll do the whole thing. Don't do this because this is the wrong way of doing things. You know. So I did all that, and I thought, right, I'm going to have to take this plasterboard wall down and the stud down so I can get into the. So I'm not going to be all the stud. Great. Not going to be corner of the partition. Corner of that can down. I thought that floor joist looks as if it's moved, but it can't have because the joist will be raggled into the wall because it's an old stone wall. Remember, at this time upstairs was a full-sized. Oh, sorry. I think quarter-size snooker table was still there.
Oh, yes, of course.
So that was slate beds. That's really heavy. So I'm not doing the next bit of wood. And then the next joist went,
Uh-oh.
And I thought, what's going on?
You're like, what's happening
here? And Leah's
here?
In the kitchen, actually. Like, I remember Leah in the kitchen, and I said,
Get out.
Get the kitchen a minute. Dale's going, what's wrong? And I went, just get the kitchen a minute. So I walked round. The floor upstairs wasn't into the wall, it was sitting on top of a single stud partition, the whole floor. And we're talking joists that were that size and that wide, just resting on one stud.
Wow.
I thought, oh my God.
Gosh,
This is like 7:30 at night. So to phone round everyone I knew and try and get some joists and some wood to keep all that up. I out the next day and bought some things called agroprop to hold the floor up. And I had to get joist extensions and big huge bolts to extend all the joists into the wall. So that's one of the major jobs that I thought, next time I should check.
Yeah, you were like, not a little regret of what I was thinking.
So
when I
don't just
started.
dive into a job, just do it,
And I guess because you've been there for so many years and you've done so much work to it and stuff, do you find that the reason you stayed is because you've got so much attachment to it as a building, like you feel like it's a part of you now, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I think, you know, our homes are always a reflection of us, but surely even more so with the amount of, you know, blood, sweat and tears that you put into the place that you're in now. And I think having, you know, an opinion of it's your attachment, it's part of you, I guess, and your 100%. Family's identity.
Yes, it's family, everything in there, history, family, parties, being single, even though it sounds really, going back to the beginning of walking in, and I still have the same feeling when I walk in. I can remember the first time I walked in thinking, wow. And it was, a chap told me the price, and I went, oh, that's quite expensive. I want to buy it. I said, listen, I'll give you a bit less. I said, no, I've been offered that already. And if I go back to the very beginning of all these years ago, I said, how about if I gave you your price and I gave you a brand new video recorder? You have to go back to the days when that was quite a big thing, and he couldn't believe he was getting a brand new video, and that sold the purchase. That was the purchase of the house was his price he asked for, which is now in terms is nothing compared to what it is now.
Of course.
But this video recorder to him was like, because if you go back to the 80s, there were probably about £800,000 for a video recorder.
Wow.
And he was like, you'll give me a brand new. He said, in the box brand new, and I went, in the box brand new, because I had video shots. And that was like, and that's what
sold. That's sealed the deal.
That's what signed the deal.
Wow. I mean, that is amazing.
So part of the history you're saying about being in the house, it's all these memories. You think, God, remember that.
The attachments. I think the attachments to properties are such a big part of it, and I think that is a reason that people should do things like renovations. I think it does intimidate people, but I think that actually it creates memories, it creates connections and attachments to homes that
you're proud of your home. That's right.
And people have families in, and you grow up. I'm sure you have so many memories in that house.
Love, and
I
can't imagine us selling the house, but
it's weird, isn't it? It's just
weird.
It's a weird thing when you think about it. But I think that if anything, you know, my takeaway is that, you know, DIY and having that access to have a go at it is the gateway that led you into that, right?
It's so easy now because of the internet as well, just it. You can look up anything, you go, how do I still do it? I go, just to check, how do I do that? And you think, if I had this 40
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It just opens so many doors.
nuts.
And I think that, I'm sure that, you know, who knows, at some point, maybe you might do a renovation project in your future, maybe. Maybe
I'd love to do a renovation project.
I could see you doing a renovation.
I think we always wanted, I mean, the current house we have now, I would have loved a renovation project, but the house price in London is crazy that if we'd have bought a renovation project, we would have had no money to renovate it. So that was, that was the catch. And at the time, we couldn't afford a renovation project. So we bought a new build. But then the beauty of design is I have added character and warmth to that through design. It doesn't have original features, but I mean, you bring them in other ways.
And also you're doing things like, you're doing so many different projects in that home that add memories and character in a different way.
Exactly.
But I will see at one point, maybe you're going to do the boiler system if you ever get a renovation. Maybe you're going to be like, I'm going to give it a go, see what happens.
Water pouring from the walls.
Like, hello, Dad, I'm just drenched. The boiler's broken.
I've got the very answer. I've got this phone number for you.
You can message him for any further queries.
I can't help you on this one. I can't. Well, listen, we're just about to wrap up now. But before we go, we asked all of our guests 5 quick fire questions, okay? And all you need to do is just give us your honest answer on them, okay?
Okay.
So, first question. What is your favourite room in the house?
The lounge.
The lounge?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because it's relaxing or?
It's a double height ceiling. It's got a gallery on one side overlooking the lounge. And it just feels as if that's the main room in the house. It just feels like that's what sold the house in the first place was. Yeah. And the kitchen's got a very, very low ceiling.
Right.
So you walk into the lounge, it's like a compression and release. You walk into a very low ceiling and it just opens out to a big, huge cathedral ceiling.
Wow. That's mega.
I still get a feeling walking in there even after 40 years. I think, what a room. Yeah, it's a great room.
Do you agree with that? Did you think he was going to say that?
Yeah, it is a very impressive space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
See some more pictures. I want to know more about it.
It's good normally, but in the winter,
it is freezing.
Yes. It's got a big log burning stove.
Right.
I mean, that's lit. I just think
this is it.
This is
the
it.
dream. Yeah.
It's just strange. It's men and fires or whatever it is. I haven't got a clue what it is. There's a bit prehistoric because I just sit in front of the fire and think, yeah, this is okay.
Yeah, I've made it.
It's weird. Yeah. I know you think, why is that? Is that a fire? It's just,
No, I agree. I agree.
And then let's move on to the next question.
Yep.
What is your favourite colour to design with?
I've got two, because that's hard. Can I have two? No, there's only one.
Yeah, we'll let you have two. Go on.
Okay,
Yellow and green.
Yellow and green?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think yellow on its own is a bit harsh.
Yeah.
I've got bright yellow in the study on one wall because I'm daft and I certainly make a car, so yellow's their colour. So I've got that one side of the wall, and I like green because it's just, there's so many textures in green.
Yeah.
It's like outside, inside. You can use the colour to bring outside, inside. Yeah.
I do agree.
It's a warm colour.
Yeah, green's my fave.
And it just adds, it reminds you of nature, right?
Yeah,
sort
it
of
just brings
that
it on
outside
inside.
in. I think
Like
that's
that peace, tranquil colour instantly.
Yep.
So what's next question is, what's your favourite place to get inspiration from? Like, where do you get inspired?
I get inspired by objects. I know that sounds really sure. I walk about and I'll see something, I think, oh, I really like that. And I'll try and find somewhere to fit it in somewhere in the house. It's more objects and pieces that I see.
Yeah.
It's like our bathroom, which I did up recently downstairs. I were on holiday, was it Palma? I think we were on holiday about 3 or 4 years ago, and I seen his wallpaper in a shoe shop. And it was big giant fish of different sizes, different colour. I thought, that'd look great in our bathroom. So I actually saw it was
just
weird.
an object that you'd seen somewhere.
Just seen that. Yeah, I just thought, I'd really like that. I have to buy that.
Nice. I think inspiration can come from all sorts of different places.
Yeah, walk about everywhere. I tend to look at the weirdest things. I go on holiday and I was going, what are you looking at? Yeah. That window cover is really looking like that. But,
sounds a bit familiar.
Yeah. It tends to be objects more than the places, I think, yeah.
Nice. I like that answer.
I think I'm going to know the answer to this one, but let's see. What's your favourite season to spend at home?
Summer. Yeah, summer.
Is that what you say?
No.
Well, no, actually, do you know what? Yes, because you're always outside.
Outside in the
You're
garden.
always outside. But our house in winter is, you don't want to leave. Like, it's so toasty in the lounge with the log burner.
I can see.
But
I thought of seeing winter, but apart from being in the lounge and the log burner's on, you're lovely and warm, it's Christmassy and all that. Yeah. It's lovely. But the season I like to be outside playing in the garden.
You're always
or working
outside.
in the garden. I'm always outside in the garden.
Yeah, no, listen, you can't be a bit of some of that indoor outdoor living, that kind of,
Although in Glasgow there's not many sunny days.
No, there's not enough. Yeah.
Your summer is about 4 days long.
Fair enough.
Our garden's north facing, but if you look at the garden from the house, and the sun hits up, from this, coming down. So there's 4 chairs in the garden, or 4 spots where Delia, Leah's mum, can sit in the garden from 7 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night.
Brilliant.
Just rotates.
She just rotates. Seriously, every morning at 7 o'clock she'll be out in that seat, and then at lunchtime she'll be there, and then she'll be there, and then she squashes under the carport. I've actually got photographs of her. You remember? I've got photographs of Mum sitting on top of the carport because the sun had set down below the carport, but the sun above the carport, and there's all this ivy off the wall. It's all flowering, and this wee body sitting there with a book.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it. Yes. That would be me, to be fair.
So that's why they got chasing the sun the whole day.
Love it. Well, listen. Our final question to you is: what is your favourite piece that you own? And that could be anything. It could be furniture. It could be
an Ames chair, an Ames lounge chair.
Nice.
I loved them from. In architecture years and years ago. I've first seen it, and it was designed, I think, by Ray or Charles Ames in 1956 or something. Yeah, and I still think it's so contemporary. You can buy it in the Teddy's Corner shop.
It's a timeless piece.
It's a timeless piece. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. What a good choice.
Yeah,
what a good choice.
Yeah. It took me years to get one, so having it now,
it's even more special.
And I sit there and think, fire's on. Cheers here.
You got it made.
Yes,
you got it made. Love it. Well, listen, Paul, thank you so much for coming to join us on the podcast. It has been amazing talking to you. You have such a plethora of knowledge around renovation. Definitely made me think. I mean, I definitely want to move house, and I would love to move to a listed property. So I might be banging your door down for questions on how to speak to the conservation officer.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I'd love that. No worries.
Thank you so much, Paul.
No, thank you.
Thanks so much, Dad.
You're welcome, Leah. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, But I've learned even more about renovations after that.
I'm very inspired. I really want to go and not even just do a renovation. I want a listed building. On my agenda is to get a listed property.
I think he's done a good job by not putting you off getting a listed building.
No,
Comes with its challenges.
I was really inspired by his connection to wanting to do right by this house, and I think that there's something to be said for that. And I love his personal attachment. And I can't believe he's lived there for 40 odd years.
I can't believe
even before he met your mum.
Yeah.
That's mad.
His bachelor pad.
Honey, you have seen all sides of that house.
Yeah.
It's literally now is it now their like retirement pad?
Yeah. No retirement. So
just living their best lives.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to move.
Nah, it's fair.
But it's nice. I think it's really beautiful that they don't want to leave. They have so much attachment to that house.
Sweet.
But yeah, that takes us nicely into our design or divorce.
So that's design or divorce. Leah, hit it.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, design or divorce.
Boom. I love that theme tune, and that's got to stick for all of the series. Okay?
Oh, God.
So we've had some people send in some problems. So let's talk. Problem number 1 is Catherine from Manchester. She says, we're renovating and my partner wants to do everything themselves to save money. I appreciate the effort, but the house has been half finished for months.
Oh.
It's starting to wear me down. How do you decide when DIY is worth it and when it's time to bring in the professionals? Catherine, let me tell you, get them in.
After our green flag, red flag, I feel Jonni is very much get them in. I'm kind of like, also, no. Catherine, are you helping? I'm not going to lie. Like,
it's a bit shady, isn't it?
Give him a hand.
Catherine, don't take any of this from me.
Pick up a tool. Like,
no, do you know what it is? I think give it a go, but I think there are some things like I personally don't want to live in a building site. As much as I want to get the job done myself, save money and whatever, I'm not about like home is to relax in. And if it's got to be a building site for however long, months, there's only so much I could take of building site living.
But if you are part of the building,
no,
that's how you build that emotional connection. Like you'll be sitting,
Paul did say that,
on your lovely sofa with your husband, wife, partner, whatever, in months or years time when you finish the renovation, depends how fast they go, but you appreciate that space so much more and you love it, and you can sit and be like, I built that, or I did this. But don't get me wrong, there's definitely trades that I would get in, like plastering, not something I would probably touch.
That's so interesting. I thought that you'd be like, yeah, I'll definitely give that a go. You'd give it a go.
I'd give it a go, but I'd probably want to do a course before. I think it is a skill.
I'm learning anything about Leah, and since we've ever had a friendship, is if she wants to do something, she's not just going to give it a go. She'll do a course, she'll get a degree, she'll write a book about it, and then she'll do it. So she's a professional.
I like to, make sure I give everything the best chance of survival once I've had a hands on it. But
sounds like it might be a divorce for you though, Catherine. I hate to break it to you. I think if I were you, I'd be like, overruling. We're getting the trades in for X job and X job. If you want to do that one, that's fine, but I can't deal with the building site.
Yeah.
Or give a deadline. Needs to be done by this date. If not,
she's not giving us like a time scale on this. So
she just said months.
Months. So, okay, well.
Months is quite a while here.
2 months is not that long, Jonni. But 12 months. We're pushing boundaries here, so
yeah.
We'll agree to
I would
disagree.
say set a deadline to get it finished by, and if your partner's struggling, which is fair, then just be like, listen, let's get the trades in.
This is a good compromise.
I feel it's a compromise.
Okay.
All right. Number 2. Problem number 2 is from Holly in Cardiff. Hi,
Hello, Holly.
We've uncovered original features in our house during the renovation, but restoring them will cost more and take longer than replacing them. How do you decide what's worth saving and what's better to let go? Holly, I'm going to tell you off here.
Yeah, we are.
Original features, and you want to replace them.
Please do not replace. Please restore.
I hope we're not too late, is all I can say, because you need to keep those. And I know it's hard. It costs more money. It is difficult. And there are some things you can replace. Of course, if it is damaged or like it's, not salvageable, fair enough. Like you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I do feel that you've got to try and hold on to the history. You've got to try and save some bits.
Yeah. And I think if you're also struggling to find the pieces to to fix like the actual materials, like please go and check out like salvage yards. There's so many amazing salvage yards which are actually full of pieces that they can replace with. I know that there's loads in Glasgow, which I always love going to have a rummage, even though I don't currently have a house that needs anything from them. They're just so great to get inspiration and see what's there, and you find so many amazing pieces that you're like, how can I fit this into my home? But especially for older properties which have all of these amazing features, maybe one room you need a new radiator, but you know, the beautiful like cast iron ones, salvage yards are full of them.
I would be, if it's a property with character, I'd be avoiding ripping stuff out. I'd be avoiding ripping out original features, and I'd be trying to, if you have to, replace it with like for like and buy second hand or something that's reclaimed, and really try to put back the history, because you can still, if you want to modernize it, you can still do that. It's just,
once you rip them out, you're ripping the piece of history out that house. You can't put it back in.
She gone.
No.
So I don't know. Sounds like we might be getting a divorce with you, Holly, because that's not it for us. But
we hope that we convinced you to restore.
Fingers crossed, and hopefully it's not too late and the history's still there.
Yeah, please send us a picture.
Yeah, please do. But that brings us to the end of our episode 2 of the pod. Can't believe it.
It's gone so quickly.
2 episodes down already. It's mad.
Yeah.
And do it right, do it once. I think that Paul taught us quite a lot about that. And I think that I maybe need to channel a lot more of that when I'm doing my own projects. So I'm going to take that away, and hopefully the listeners maybe going to take that away as well.
Take that away too, yeah.
And what do we need to do, Leah? What's the deal? What have we got to do now? We've got to go and follow on social media.
Sorry, I thought this was going to be something related to my dad. You threw me off. Of course, you have to follow along at Til Design Do Us on TikTok and Instagram. And please, please, please send us your design dilemmas, and pictures as well would be super helpful.
Yeah.
Give us as much information as possible so we can make give you the best informed decision at the end.
We want to help you out. We want to make sure you're not getting a divorce, honey. You are making it happen. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Tune in next week. We've got another special guest coming.
Another one. We're just rolling them out, guys.
Guys, we are spoiling you. Spoiling. And the best is yet to come. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I guess till next time. Til Design Do Us part.
Bye.